good morning to you. It's good to see you on this Entertainment Friday right here on Your World. We're excited to have you join us on this very important day because we're going to have a very important conversation. This is as far as culture on stage, and the title that we're going to, explore today is on the power of dialect theater in modern Kenya. And I'm pretty sure for us in the country, yes, we enjoy plays, and that has changed over time because back then, not so many people would actually go to a theater and watch a play. But now we're seeing more and more Kenyans actually getting more interest in theater. But now we'll focus on dialect and how that is actually improving when it comes to excuse me, see Nanyongo, because of this important conversation. And that is as far as dialect and the role that it plays in theater and as far as entertainment, but also enforcing change right here in the country. So it's going to be an amazing conversation. And the people that I have on set with me today, they're telling me, well, Winnie, we're feeling everything that has to be felt because they actually have a show tonight, tomorrow, and on Sunday, right? Yes. So I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves. On my immediate left, we have Marianne Nyambura, who's a production manager. But Marianne, aside from a production manager, I'm pretty sure you do so many other things. Yes. Jenga CV. This is where we begin. Hey. Okay, my name is Marianne Nyambura. I am an actor. First, I'm an actor. A producer, director. Yes, I do so many things. Yeah, but my heart beats for theater. Yes. Okay. Anytime I'm on stage, I'm alive. Right? Yes. It's the same way every time I am on set like this. Yeah, I am alive. So I hear what you're saying. You get it. I hear what you say. But it's so good to see you and have you on the show. Thank you for making the time despite the very busy schedule because today is the day. It's one of those days. One of those days, right? All right. And we also have Gadani Waweru, who's a singer and actor. Good to have you. Nakwambia, you are in your element. Yani wewe you're ready. So you can it's good to have you. Hey, Tombe, aside from a singer and actor, there's so many things, there's so many hats that you wear, I'm sure. Yeah, Tombe.
Okay, so I'm a general artist. I'm a singer, songwriter, and an actor. I thrive in songwriting.
Yes.
I like just throwing it there.
Yes.
You know,
just so you know.
So in the show, for those people who will come to watch the show, I've done most of the translations for the songs and actually picking the songs. Fantastic. So theater is where our heart is. Yes. It just feels like home.
I know. I can imagine. And I really understand what you guys are saying. Like I said, this is where I feel home. Yeah. So I understand when you say theater is where your home is. Yes. Now, I know there's a show that will be happening tonight, but before we even talk about that, can we just talk about theater in general, and even before we focus on our dialect, because the show tonight is called Ugangwe. Yes. Ugangwe. In Kikuyu now. Yes. So let's talk about theater and evolution of theater and plays in the country, because like I said, back then, I mean, well, kitambo, we would go because, well, you know, but now we're seeing more and more Kenyans embracing plays and going and getting the feel and enjoy the play. Sure. So from where you sit, how has it evolved over time? Are we where you want us to be, or kidogo bado, you know?
Still, I think it's a journey. Okay. We are not there yet, but we're getting somewhere. Kitambo, the conversation was totally different from what we're having right now. All right. Because people were not so warm into welcoming theater, and actually we didn't have as many theater goers as we have right now. Okay. We are actually doing shows and they're getting sold out. So that's a big thing. Like that's something. Yeah. I feel it's in, like, we're moving in the right direction. We still have a long way to go because I feel many people really do not understand what is theater per se. So you will tell someone, I am having a play, and the person is like, so kwa TV gani? Yes. Like, I'm actually calling you to come for a theater play, and they still don't understand exactly what that is. Yeah. So there's a lot of sensitization that we need to do for people to possibly understand where we stand. Yeah. Okay. But we are somewhere. Right. And I am proud of the journey. Yes. I am proud to be here, walking the journey to this point. Yeah. It's amazing.
Gadoni, from where you sit?
All I can say is I have seen change in the way theater is being received nowadays. All right. Because looking at our audiences before, they used to be in terms of age, they used to be older. Yeah. So the people who used to come and watch our plays back then were older people, the people who knew these things from outside Kenya. You understand? The people who've traveled, but now because of the way we've advanced in terms of even the groups that are there, the companies that are popping up, we're seeing that many young people are embracing theatre now, and there used to be fewer productions before, but now the productions are more and more. So meaning we're reaching bigger numbers. So it is being embraced better now. But we're not where we would want to be. But as she said, it's a journey, and we're loving the progress as we move on.
I see. Now, so Kenyans are embracing theatre in general and plays in general. But now we have dialect theatre happening.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing? Because it's like, yes, everything is morphing, but at the same time, people are embracing now plays in languages that they can understand. So can we first of all just understand dialect theatre, right? What is it all about? How different is it from, I want to say, contemporary, quote unquote, but then again, you're also using that word very cautiously. So how is it? How's dialect theatre, first of all, in terms of from production to even just coming up with the idea of a play? What is that process like?
Now, the making of a show, a dialect play. So dialect plays, I speak from Kikuyu because I do Kikuyu plays. Personally, I've never produced any other play. They have always been Kikuyu plays. Have I been a part of a cast that has done something different? Yeah. One time. I used to work for FCA, but that was many years back until I focused on now doing just Kikuyu plays. I feel it's a totally different ballgame from what happens with any other play that you can find there. Because one, you're speaking to people in a language close to heart. So any joke on stage is a joke that is close. Like, I cannot explain. Yes, I can't explain this joke to anyone. You can't get it.
You know what, my friend actually. So this is the thing. A lot of people think I'm Kikuyu, so they'll speak to me in Kikuyu. And even my best friend sometimes are confused and Kikuyu. And then I'll remember, there's some certain jokes that Kiswahili. How it doesn't hit. So she says it in Kikuyu and then translates.
But still, she will feel that there's something that is missing. There's something that is being lost. So for Kikuyu plays, for Kikuyu theatre lovers and for Kikuyu theatre goers, I feel the journey has been amazing. The very first time I did a Kikuyu play was in 2012.
2012?
Yes, 2012, yes.
Wow.
And the kind of audience we were getting then it was crazy, like very few numbers. Tulikuwa nafanya show na kama watu sita a whole weekend.
I can imagine.
Yeah, those are the people who feels, okay, so I'll try to support because wewe ni wetu, not because I understand exactly what you're doing.
Was it like because of it, I'm a three-quarter friends?
Family.
Family.
When I feel I gotta do this. Right? But now, right now we are putting up a show, and the people who are coming, I barely know these people. These are people who actually love exactly what you're doing, and they appreciate the art itself, and they feel they will actually give you ideas of, no, I feel you can do this, you can change something different, you can try this. So there's a lot of involvement with what is happening now with the Kikuyu plays that you're doing, and the audience is massive. I am telling anybody who wants to do Kikuyu plays, don't be scared because Miriam and somebody else is doing it. Please go out there because we have a very rich market. The market is crazy. 2 weekends, like the last weekend there was a Kikuyu play happening here, and the weekend before that we still had another Kikuyu play happening here. Sold out shows. Like, tell me how we are getting 3 weekends back to back.
All of them sold out.
Kikuyu plays, and we're still getting audience. So the market is rich. We're doing something.
And now, understanding the magnitude of that, like 3 consecutive days, all sold out. What does this say in terms of first of all, not just audience reception, but also understanding the importance of what you're putting out there?
I feel there has been a hunger for a long time. There's been a hunger for, especially the generation that is coming up, of you realize, like, the Gen Zs are kids of millennials. So sisi millennials ni wale tuliamua kama ulikulishwa githeri, watoto wako hawatakula githeri. So most people who have grown up speaking in their language have taken the kids to school. The kids are learning foreign languages, but they're not getting really to learn their dialect at home. So I think what we're doing is, because of growing that culture, and because these kids are hungry, because you can see even online, Kikuyu music is trending, meaning people are starting to embrace their local languages. People are going back to their roots. So I think we're holding our part in that aspect and trying to promote that and not really teach it in a way that is, you know what, you must know. We're making it entertaining. And for shows like ours, they're musicals with comedy. So you can get entertained, even the things you don't understand, the things in it that you will relate to.
You know what's fascinating, and especially now with Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and especially TikTok, I saw a video of a Jungu saying, I don't understand what this song is about, but I enjoy it.
Exactly.
And even when you look around, I mean, across the country, everybody who's on TikTok, they say, I am, say, Luo, I am Luya, I am, even from Turkana, we don't understand certain languages, but we enjoy the content that is put out there. So would you say it's dialect theatre has a very important role in terms of unifying the country, because a lot is happening.
Like there's just so much that is happening. We need a breather. We need that escape of I need to get away from whatever is happening. And I feel that is exactly where we come in. That is exactly what we are doing, because apart from giving entertainment, we are giving solutions. Sometimes you will sit down in a play, and by the time you're done with that play, like you have so many questions that you need to answer, which are personal, which are they're just doing something to your mind. So I feel you're doing something.
I'll ask you, I mean, later on we'll talk about then how do we take dialect theatre to the international stage, right?
We are planning to.
We are planning.
We are planning to.
Right?
Like next year.
Next year,
maybe
let's take it international to a global setting, because clearly there's a very unique aspect of it that brings people together, gives people an escape, but also helps people to, number one, understand and appreciate our culture, but also learn each other's cultures, and that of course plays a very important role in unifying all people. So how long now have you been acting in your local language, your dialect, and have you tried others?
So I joined theatre in 2011.
All right.
Did set books for one term. I am one of the lucky ones, trust me.
Just one term.
One term.
Lucky human.
And so my director then noticed that my Kikuyu was very good. And I was very young.
All right.
So he told me about Kikuyu plays.
All right.
So I came and started watching Kikuyu plays. And then I was introduced to the director. So that is how I joined Kikuyu Theatre in around 2012. So I've been doing stage plays since then. And I've done other shows. I've done English plays at the Phoenix, with Heartstrings Entertainment at the Alliance Francais. But there's just something about Kikuyu that is different. Because as you say, the delivery and the way you understand things. And because now when we're staging Kikuyu plays, we're speaking to people who are directly connected to us. Like when I am creating a Kikuyu play, I'm creating it for my mom, for my family, for my cousins, for like,
someone you know.
It's not foreign, so I don't have to overthink it.
It's not far-fetched.
It's not far-fetched.
I see that. What is that one memorable line, and especially from your one-time set book, that you have never forgotten up until now? Do you remember? Do you have that one memorable line that you want to...
Not a line. But I remember a scene in The River Between. We were doing the book The River Between by Ngugi wa Thiong'o. So I was playing Nyambura. Nyambura is the main character. And there was a particular scene that Wayaki was supposed to, me and Wayaki was supposed to have like a romantic, whatever. It was the most stressful thing I've ever done. Because I was young. And then this is the first role you're doing in theatre. And then you're being trusted with this big role. And then now you have to be romantic on stage in front of students.
That's just too much.
What was that like? It's too much pressure.
It was too much pressure.
A child. I was just a child.
And they have expectations. Students have expectations. And they are over here. And then it's students from our era. They used to watch soap operas then. So they're imagining your Alejandro and
we know the romantic scene, how it's supposed to be, and then
I am from Murima. So romance and me is very far. Please.
I know.
I And for you, Marianne, as well, you're an actor, and production manager and producer and
director and
all those things, right? So how long have you been doing this, and is it challenging? Is it easier for you, to produce in dialect?
One, I don't think it's very hard. I've been doing it from 2008. Okay. That is the very first time I did a play.
All right.
Began in set books. I wasn't lucky to say that I only went for one term. I went for, I think, 2 years, 2008, 2009, and a bit of 2010 when I went to campus. So, yeah. It has not been easy. It has not been a very easy journey because, one, people will not understand exactly what you're doing. So anytime I tell sometime I am an actor, so unafanyanga nini?
Yes.
So even right now,
this is a hobby. So
yes. So sometime last week I was talking to my mom's friend, who is someone influential, and he's attending my play today. So we talked for like 10 minutes. So how have you been? I was with your mom. How is she? And then that whole story, she was like, so what are you doing? So I'm producing. So no, so anything else unafanyanga apart from, and I'm thinking, this is where I feel
it is work.
I feel like I need to tell you how much I'm making now because man, people do not really perceive you as career path. Career path. So that is one of the challenges that we get, because I don't think anyone who is not in this space and who actually understands and appreciates art really understands exactly what we're doing. That's one. And then for my journey has not been a very easy journey, I would say. From acting to then directing to now producing. It's waves, just waves. It's moving every single day. I was talking to someone yesterday, I was telling the person, I always thought I know the ropes of theater until I got to producing. My God, I want to scream every minute. I want to run away. I want to switch on my phone. I want to just escape. The last 3 weeks, I don't think I've been sleeping. Maybe 2-3 hours in a night. Because there's just so much to do. So many calls to make every single time. It's so much. And I thought I knew.
I think I've got this. I have been doing this.
You know.
And I think that's the thing people don't understand about what we do. Like for example, theater. You see, for screen, it's very easy to get a script that morning, go get your lines, and then come and shoot. For theater, we have been rehearsing this particular play for a month. So we have been here every day for a month. We put work into it, and sometimes you can create a whole show, and then after 2 weeks, you realize, it's not giving the vibe we wanted to give. So you change it.
Wow. Wow, so it's like every single day is different from what happened yesterday. You might think that we mastered everything. And then today, a director is like,
and then for the kind of shows we do, because we don't have scripts. So we come up with stories. So we start from scratch. So we come up with stories, experiences of life, what is happening, what is trending. We combine all that. We combine the minds of the cast and come up with something. So you see, we are creating. So that is the thing that people don't appreciate. So when I tell someone, come watch my show this weekend, and they're like, okay, we're charging this and this, and they're like, why all that money? It's not even half of what we would charge.
The input is crazy.
Put into. I mean, Marianne, take us through that, because like you rightly put, most people don't understand the amount of work, love, sweat, tears, laughter sometimes, it's fun. But the amount of time that is put into producing these amazing plays that you get to enjoy. So take us through the whole process of producing. I mean, you've talked about coming up with an idea, right? So conceptualizing that idea into now a play. What is that process like? And now, because the focus today is on dialect theater, what is that like? Take us through, walk us through.
So, the whole process begins with now the producer deciding, I have the money to actually get into this. Because producing takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of money, which you're not very certain if you will get the returns or not. That's the biggest, like it's a risk, like it's 100% risk. So you get to talk to a director, you get the person that you're working with, and assemble your team now and decide now this is what you want to do, what you want to do. So from the director decides this is the kind of a play that I want to do. How many people are you working with? And then he gives you the cast, and then the whole process begins. Make sure these people have enough space to rehearse. Make sure these people are fed enough. Yeah, like it's the whole. It's
you
every single day. Yeah,
there's no
and they're hungry.
Hungry people.
There is no way. Yeah, food is very important.
Yes.
This one gets hungry and she cries. But then she gets very cranky when she's hungry. So you have to make sure people are fed.
Yes.
So there's all that.
Yeah.
Then when it comes to the marketing bit, marketing has shown me pay. Marketing is hard.
Yeah.
Because you think you know enough people to actually come and watch you play, but convincing someone to actually now buy the ticket is now the trick. Then you have to go out of, like, you have to think wide, think broad. How do you penetrate the corporate? That is something that I'm trying to do. How do you, apart from the corporate, how do you now get to people you know, your friends? How do you make everyone you know buy a ticket from you?
Yes.
Marketing is crazy.
Yeah.
And now planning the whole day. It's like a whole event. It's planning an event. And planning an event is not easy.
Never easy.
The logistics and everything is crazy. I'm sitting here and I know my phone is somewhere with a million calls that I need to respond to, and I can't because I will be on stage.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then also, how then do you come up with, how do you choose an idea? Because like we said, again, we're lucky to live in a country where there's freedom. But it's also the whole aspect about community. And we share our stories. It doesn't matter what part of the country you come from. So there's so much going on. How do you choose from the stories that we have, the different counties, different communities, different languages. So then how do you choose what story to go with?
I think that is where having dialect stage plays help, because it is very easy to choose stories that relate to you. Because with everything going on, like the way you said, in the political scenes, in the country generally, you find that there's so many things that are happening all at once. But you can pick the ones that are hit directly home. The ones that kama mimi nina relate nayo. Kuna mtu mahali Murang'a. So there's that, and then also we look at because we don't want to just do shows just for entertainment. We pick topics that would help us bring change or help us highlight issues that are happening or things that people need to know. Basically, because that's the other thing. We're passing information as much as we're entertaining.
And enforcing change in our community.
So that is what the director is for. So we all come up with ideas, and then the director gives us now the structure of
how
and the direction
should
to
go. Now, so we have TikTok, like I said, and Instagram and YouTube, and all this other digital spaces, and we also see content creators also creating content in their local dialect. And now there's Marianne, and then there's Gadodi, who are saying, you know what, let's take this play, let's take this beautiful story that we have and take it to theater, right? So how are people responding? Because you see, for this one, it's easy. I have my own matatu, there's traffic, I can easily access, the content in my local dialect. And then again, versus theater. So is it,
it's not easy convincing people to actually come for plays right now because they have so much. Like if it is entertainment that I want today, I honestly do not have to leave my house and go to a theater. So one, you have to tap into people who actually love theater. Those are the people that are closer home. So people that used to perform for some years back are the same people you're telling, you know what, we're having a play, what do you think? Do you want to come? And they're like, oh my God, where did you go to? They're coming back. Then we still have the very young who feel like this is something different. I want to experience something different. I've been watching TikTok, I've been watching all these videos. That is a play, so why not? So we are tapping into that as well. So now it's upon us to decide what content are we giving people out there. One of the biggest tools of marketing for our shows is online. So you cannot market for a show with a boring something.
Please, no.
You have to get something very catchy for people to feel, if this is the sneak peek of I'm getting of this play, how about the whole show? So they feel this is something that I actually want to go to. So it's not easy. It's not. It's not.
And as an actor, right? Because like we said, and audiences are
Yeah.
changing.
Yes.
The way people used to respond to say please back then is not the same way.
Not the same, actually,
right?
yeah.
That they're responding to right
Yeah.
now. So I can imagine what you're saying. If someone needs to really be impressed, but by what
Yes.
I am saying, that a snippet,
Yes.
then inform me
Yeah.
if you want to go or not. So then, how do you prepare for that, for your role, for everything, just to make sure
what you're giving is the best. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, Sister Hapo, that is where experience comes in.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is where experience comes in, because again, not comparing, but speaking along those lines of social media, anyone can create content.
Yes.
Anyone
For
can
sure.
You have a phone, you have whatever you need, you can do whatever you want with your whatever you have in your time. And because there's space for that, and there's space for everybody. And as she said, we tap into people that love theater, but also we tap into people that don't have an idea of what theater is.
Yeah.
So if we get a chance to get those people to come here, that's why we're using the same social media where we can access everybody, and now trying to bring people into this space. And so how we prepare is we make sure that from our experience, we are better than what you're seeing on your phone.
Yeah.
First of all, we're giving you value for your money, because whatever you'll watch on your phone is around 3 minutes max. But you will be seated here for 2 hours.
Yes.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
And getting a new experience. And for our shows, the kind of shows we do, we don't just we're not linear. We don't just do one thing. We're doing abstract theater, and we're doing it in a very diverse way.
All right.
So we have music included. There's comedy I had mentioned earlier.
Yes.
So we combine all these
Dancers
things.
as well.
Dancers. We have dancers as well. So we combine all these things to make sure that when you come and sit down and pay and sit down for those 2 hours, we're giving you value for your time and value for your money.
I see. Now, remember how we said theatre plays a very important role in unifying the country, really unifying the people. And I want to imagine when you're going out there to market, right? You're not just targeting Kikuyus, because the play is in Kikuyu,
It's in Kikuyu,
right?
yeah.
You want to include everybody else
For sure.
who, yes, will come. Not only have a good time, but also learn something and go home with something different from the play. So how then do you do that to not only just have Kikuyus enjoy the play, but everybody else, but also when it comes to marketing, how then do you market it in a way that is profitable not only to you, but also to the people who are, sort of like sponsoring? If you have sponsors on board as well.
Yes, we do. We have sponsors on board. We are so thankful to them. They make work easier. They give you money and you're like, oh my God, that has sorted one bill. So they are good people. So how we approach the how we have decided to go the corporate way is telling these people we have numbers. I think right now everything is numbers.
Yes.
So I am telling you, I have 3 shows. I have a show per day. I am bringing you 430 people per day.
Yeah.
So if you're selling something, you have 430 people to come and convince them to buy something from you.
Yeah.
So by the end of the weekend, you can be able to convert into something. So that is one way.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be a Kikuyu for you to know you can tap into that market.
Okay.
Because whatever you're selling, I believe is something that can be bought by anyone.
Everybody, yes.
How we market to people to actually come and watch our plays, people who are even non-Kikuyus, is because, as she was saying, we're giving an ensemble of a performance. The music and the dance, honestly, you do not have to be a Kikuyu for you to enjoy the music. You don't have to be a Kikuyu for you to enjoy the dance.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be something that you understand. If you sit down and follow the play, for sure you're going to get something.
Yeah.
I've had a time when you're doing a play and someone comes with someone, it's like, you know what, this guy is not Kikuyu. But at the end of the show, the person says, oh my God, I think I enjoyed the show. So did you get it? Not really. I didn't get every joke that was said on stage. But following the story, I am able to follow the storyline. And by the end of the day, I think I get something.
Okay.
So it is making sure that everybody is coming here and getting an experience. So we are no longer going for just the play itself. We are getting a full experience. What exactly are you going to come out of this place with?
I see.
Yes.
Then we're going to take a break. But when we come back, we'd want to understand. So fine. Yes, we've come a long way.
Yes.
So much that we need to cover as far as, theater and, so we still have a long way still to go.
Yeah.
But also, how do we open up our theaters to to be like more inclusive and also a tourist attraction, right? Because in China, and we'll actually play this video, you know, after the break, where China has actually opened up its theater where tourists actually come and visit and get to. So then, how do we open that? And remember what we said about then opening our plays, our shows, and you know,
to the international market
as well. So then, how do we get there? And all that is coming up after the break. Do stay with us. The show is Your World. There's so much to cover on the other side of the break.
People come to me and they say they get discomfort when they have ice cream. Can you imagine that? Avoiding having cold ice cream. Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
This week on Cars with Big Boy Trev, it's all about BYD's Atto 3 full electric SUV. We check out its styling, performance, practicality, safety, efficiency, and of course give you a value for money analysis as to why this could be your next electric SUV. Catch this and much more on your Cars with Big Boy Trev this Sunday at 5 p.m. only on NTV.
To protect our family from germs that cause illness when it's cold, we use Dettol soap.
Dettol soap with germ defense gives you protection. When it's cold, germs are transferred in different ways. And Dettol soap's germ defense protects you from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
I want my brother completely out of the family business.
Liam is the best fit for the company.
I think ini through personal mametupatia.
Liam! Yama yuko. Wacha kugagelele hapa. Utamsha madam.
All this is because of you. Now wake up. Wake up and clear your mess.
No, ma.
Looking for some mehe faster than you can say spill the tea? Well, I've got you covered.
Con Entertainment, you know, we already got the vibe, so I got the beat, my moves ni kwako.
Join us for Chocha where the games are wild. Kiss my dam, right? Dashagwa, Kindiki, Sakaja. And of course, kama kuna story inspiring ama ngoma noma, send in tutakuwakilisha kama kawa kama dawa. Catch Beats and Buzz only on NTV. Because it's gonna be mad and crazy.
For fast relief of strong pain, like headache, toothache, and muscle pain. And I am finally released from pain and ready to be there for those who need me. Try Panadol Extra for fast and effective relief from strong pain.
Hustle is survival.
When a loved one's lost.
Catch these exciting shows only on Maisha Magic Plus on DSTV channel 163 and GoTV channel 3.
the 7th of March, 2025, we embrace the theme of marching forward. Here we stand as symbols of progress. Together, we march with confidence and grace, showing the world that when women rise, everyone rises.
As the sun dips below the horizon, we transition from the greens to the glamour of the evening.
We are inviting you, all the lovely ladies, to please join us at the Muthaiga Golf Club for a very unique experience.
Niachenya shipite boss kwani mimi dive niku dive
This is DJ Zeddy. Drop that.
Shilingi 1,000. Toka kwa hiyo sanduku. Stoki. Rudisha hiyo pesa kwa sanduku namba 10.
Ongeza ifike 50.
Kwa nini? Anataka ukule popcorn ukitizama runinga, sawa? 100,000 Kenya shillings! Inch TV! 1,000 Kenya shillings! Yes!
Are you ready?
Lete kinari ni kusitia kifua. Niko na dem, mwenye kona dem pia. Masa flani ikifika na wachangamkia. After scene kabaridi sezi nkatulia.
Tunakubali. Gateka.
Cash crop za Nyandarua ni mawaru.
Only on NTV.
Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Hustle is survival.
When a love once lost.
Catch these exciting shows only on Maisha Magic Plus on DSTV channel 163 and GoTV channel 3.
Justice system imeamua kureverse roles. Sasa wanaita judge my lord alafu God is my witness. Sijuzi muliona. Na pretense iko so open, crocodile tears zinahitaji intervention ya kitunguu. Vitu kii kwa life zishapoteza meaning. Pombe inatumika kutoa lock, jumulishapoteza kifungu. Pesa ni shetani, but ni chache. Mali natoka wengi tunaipata kiumungu mungu. Waambie hata waandike Nairobi in small letters bado ni capital. Waanje biashara ndani ya Nairobi bado wanahitaji kutafuta capital. Caps lock kwa computer language ni capital. Kupigana law kahitaji capital. Ndani ya nje ya city offense bado ni capital. Tulipiga show za 50 bob thanks to our fans. Wenye walibambika sana walitoka nje na wakalipa tena. Wenye walibelieve in us waliclap, tukaanza kusnap wakasahau, wakakuwa caught with the moment wakasahau wakaclap tena. Wenye wako believe in us mbali tumefika pia sahi watasema ni bahati tena. Siku hizi tunatoa ngoma natuambia reduce bass alafu uimbe tena. Sanaa hailipi, pesa iko mfukoni mwa watu wale wajanja zaidi, wanatembea na plastic cash, fake friends na plastic smiles, straight girls na plastic curves, environment na bebo ufala na plastic bags. Nasema yes we can. Those who don't believe walk around with plastic cans. Apart from makop mtaani wana coke ma plastic guns. Kwa hii journey I've realized losing someone you had is sad. Thinking you never lost someone you never had is absurd. Kama nimekukasirisha, relax. Hata wazimu wakikasirika yeye uturn mad. Keep it locked ka Warden.
Hey, we're talking about the art of speaking truth to power. Hey, that is really Oliver, who will be joining us in the second hour in actually less than 20 minutes on the second hour of the show, and that is Your World. And we'll be talking about the power of poetry in social activism. Mimi nakwambia, ati even when Ozimuaki akikasirika and get mad. Where we live it
the lines,
the lines.
That's
but just in case you're tuning in right now, today on the show, the conversation is on culture on stage, and this is on the first hour of the show, and it's all about the power of dialect theatre in modern Kenya. And we have Gadoni Waweru, who's a singer and actor, as well as Marianne Nyambura, who's a production manager. She's also an actor. She's a director. She's like, this is two women. They're wearing different hats, helping us really understand how important dialect is in terms of dialect theatre in the modern Kenya. And we're coming to you from the Kenya National Theatre right here in Nairobi. And Marianne, before we went on a break, of course, we were discussing how, again, theatre has evolved and the power that it has, and again, social media now, the interruptions that it brings, but also using it then to your advantage in terms of marketing and also connecting to your audiences. Now, so here we are. There's so much that we need to cover as far as then where do we take our theatre, right? How do we get there? In terms of not just having our plays being showcased, not only here in the country and entertaining our own people, but also taking it to the international stage. Dialect.
Yes, stick to dialect theatre. Dialect theatre is where my heart is. As I said, I am just working with Kikuyu plays. And it is amazing. It is an amazing experience. So how do we get out of now the Kenyan market? I feel we have a very rich market out there. Like, it is extremely rich. One, how we are able to tell that we have a ready market out there is because we have Mugithi people going out there every single time. Every now and then somebody is out there. Every now and then Caribbean is out there. And they're going to have sold out shows. They will visit the Europe, they will go to the US, they will go to the UK, they will go to Dubai. It is amazing. So that is to tell you, if they're getting people who are actually going to listen to their songs, it is the same way they will be able to actually sit and watch our plays. Then this is a conversation we've had with a number of people. Everyone's like, it is about time. Like, why don't you even think about bringing a show here? I know it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of logistics. The logistics takes a lot. Paperwork, visas, and all that. But I believe this is where we are going.
It's possible. So then, will it take some goodwill from, say, the government, the Ministry of, Arts and Culture, to just help them? Because we have beautiful stories, like we said. All these communities.
Our stories are beautiful, man.
Stories.
Yes, they are. So I feel we are somewhere. We are doing well, but I feel the conversation now needs to leave the local space where we are in, and for the government to actually understand this is a place they can actually tap into and get money as well. Tunalipa.
Right.
If I am paying tax, everyone else, I feel I need to get 100% value from the government as well. So if we could get that kidogo push from the government, because right now, if I am taking a group of 20 people and we want to go to the US, how convincing am I going to be for them to actually give me visas for these 20 people? But if the government comes in and says, actually, we know these people, they've been doing this and this, and they give us the right paperwork that we need, I believe at least a more visa. Because now, unfortunately, our passport is not as strong. We have to get visas to visit almost everywhere else we need. And all the places that we actually need to stage our plays, we have to get visas for that. So I feel that is where the government can come through. If we are able to tap into that, inaweza kuwa poa sana.
I mean, it's a way of us taking our stories outside, like in a way we're marketing our country and the beautiful culture that we possess and all those things.
One more thing, there's one beautiful thing that I feel. Murkomen has been our CS for a bit of time before he left and went away. His wife attends our plays.
Look at that.
Man.
Look at that.
Yes. If you told the wife to, the PS actually understands exactly what you're doing. I believe getting to convince these people to actually come through and understand what we do, for them to be, yes, I think the first thing is understand what we do, for them to see value, for them to see why am I investing in that? I think they need to understand why they're investing in this, but we're giving them value. That's for sure.
I see. Because then you look like you have a lot to say.
Go ahead.
The other thing, I think why taking our shows international is important is awareness.
All right.
First of all, because so that people don't only think the things they're seeing are the only things. You see the way people from other countries only see Kenya through documentaries.
They think all of us are Maasai.
They think they think we're all Maasai. They think we're all poor. You see them in the internet, on the internet, wondering, hey, you guys have Wi-Fi. You see, there's that, and then there's also the people who left home to go look for greener pastures outside. So that those people, they're very hungry for some sort of connection. So I feel like we would be a very good bridge for that. You see, when you see Marianne, when you see me, there, you see your child who you'd probably want to be there with you, and is not. You understand?
Yes.
And we bring to you something that's very close to home, so you feel like you're back home. Hata kama ni for those 2 hours or 1 hour. So it's very helpful.
I see. I see. And also in terms of expanding again our plays and our shows, in the sense that, so you guys are primarily you do Kikuyu plays, Kikuyu shows, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Any chance of like collaborations with, say, others who do plays in Luo, others who do plays in Luya, others who do plays in Maasai or Turkana, so that again, when someone comes to watch you, they're not just watching one thing. They get a taste and feel of this other cultures, like in terms of power of collaboration. Like, do you see that as something
for art?
Maybe you want to explore? Yes,
I think that is something we would really look into. For art, without collaborations, I think we're not doing anything. Unfortunately, you cannot be self-sufficient. I can't say that. This is Marianne, this is my production. You know, there is no way you can get to that level. So I feel tushikane mkono. If you're doing a Luya play, nite. I may not understand the language, but I understand exactly what is needed. I know a structure of a play. I can tell you this is how you begin. But you will know exactly how to fix your language. So I feel we really need to get into that. There's one person who we look up to. He's been a director for a number of years. Sorry.
We want to hear that.
We want to hear me. Yes. All right. So there's a guy who's been a director for some time. His name is Tash Mitambo. Tash Mitambo, there is a time he was doing plays in almost all languages. He did Kikuyu, he did Swahili, he did Luya, he did Luo, he did Kalenjin, he did Kamba, he did Avuya, he did Teso. And it was like, how are you even getting Tesos? I don't even know. I only know one Teso, actually. And I actually know the person from Tash.
Do you know any Sengwer? My mom is Sengwer. Kale.
That's
yes.
Okay.
See?
Where?
We are learning.
Yeah.
That's why we needed to be here. Yes.
Now you know one Sengwer.
Sengwer. Perfect.
Sengwer.
Perfect. Yes. Okay. So you see, like, there's just so much we can tap into from each other. And I think this is the challenge to Tash. He needs to get back and do that again.
And
he needs to do that again.
Why theatre is growing in terms of numbers is because of collaboration. And you find that even people who are doing English plays, when they market for shows, people come to theatre to watch an English play. And then when you come here, you realize, they also perform Kikuyu plays or a play in your language. So that also helps. So we can't, I feel like part of why we're getting the growth in numbers is because now there's awareness out there. So if you're not coming to watch like our production is called Kwandego. If you're not coming to watch Kwandego, you're coming here for another production. Or another production. And through that production, you learn about Kwandego. You watch our play, you like it. Next time you will come.
Yeah, so collaborations must happen. That's the only way.
And then also expanding now the theatre in itself. Because like you rightly put, uko inja watu wanafikiria we're all Masais.
Yes.
Because they'll go to Bomas and then watch Masai wakidansi and all those things. How then do we open our theatres in the sense that maybe you could just say Kenya National Theatre.
Yes.
I know I'm not just coming to see or to watch one play. I know I'll meet several people from different communities, different cultures, different shows that still preach the same language or preach the same message, and that is either unifying or marketing and selling our cultures out there. How do we do that? And also pia watu wa mashinani, maybe I'll ask that later. Yes, go ahead.
I feel that is a conversation that is actually very active. I feel like you've been peeping into our WhatsApp group. So we have a group for Kenyan theatre producers.
Okay.
That is a conversation that we've been having from last year. And people feel we need to have a full calendar. Let me know when Miriam is having on her shows. Let me know when Gadoni is having on her shows. Let's find out, when are you doing your play, when are you doing your play.
I like that.
When I'm actually doing my plays, I'm able to market for everybody else. Because we're not competitors. We are actually doing this together. If I am tapping into the theatre lovers, you need them, she needs them as well. So there's no point of, these are my people, please don't market. No. We really need to hold each other's hands for us to be able to know that we're heading somewhere.
Really like
it is a very alive conversation. It is something that we really want to actualize.
So that we don't wait at November.
Yes, no.
We need to have a full calendar.
Yes.
To tap into this.
And I think that is very, very good because it also challenges us. Because I need you to go and watch an English play and then come tell me, apana,
yes. Challenge me.
Yes. And then maybe I will explain to you why. Because of the structure and whatever. Or maybe I will feel like, but there's something those people are doing that
I need to borrow from. Yes.
So it's very important because it helps us also grow as artists.
Yes.
Because it's a learning process. Theatre is like school for acting, actually.
Yes.
And you learn every day. Every day you learn. You can't learn if you're not watching other people's plays. That's why we need as many productions as possible. As many productions as possible. Because we need to keep people busy. Because right now, you could be planning to come and watch our show. Then something happens. And then what happens if there's no show for you to watch when you're free?
Yes. So you will need as many as we can.
And also get more money into our artists' pockets.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
For the craft.
For sure.
Okay. Then also expanding this to, because now I'm thinking West Pokot, right? Where I was born and raised for like 10 years before we moved.
Okay.
Or even in Trans-Nzoia where we are now. When you hear a lot about plays and shows, we hear them in like urban settings.
Yes.
And my people in West Pokot are like, hey, we want to enjoy this.
Now, this is where the Kikuyu plays get an advantage. We actually don't just stage plays in Nairobi.
Nice.
No. Okay. We go to Nyeri, we go to Nanyuki, we go to Nakuru, we go to Muranga, we go to Thika.
Yes.
That is something we've been doing over time.
All right.
So I feel we haven't been doing that since COVID. We used to do that pre-COVID. But right now, it is something that you're actually looking into. We had someone who did a Kikuyu stand-up comedy. Her name is Auntie Jemima. Maybe you know her from online. She's an amazing woman. So she did a play that was amazing. Like it was everything plus more. After she did the Nairobi show, which was sold out totally, she went to Nanyuki, did a play, sold out. Went to Karatina, did a play, sold out. Went to Nakuru, did the same. In Kikuyu.
Wow.
So this is something that is doable.
It's possible.
And that is something that is actually going to make us an extra coin. Because if I'm taking a play to Nanyuki, to all these other towns that are actually out of Nairobi, I am not going to need extra rehearsals to share rehearse.
You know what you're supposed to do.
Yes. So we only need a day or two of finesse of exactly what were you saying, what was I saying. Let's make everything look very nice to be staged in these different places. Make it local. Kama ni jina nilikuwa nasema Huruma, I will say a town in Nanyuki. And someone feels this is now closer home. Yes. So this is something we have tapped into. And over time, it is something that has actually been giving. In returns and in money.
I like that. I like that. All right. Ugangwe.
Yes.
Happening tonight, tomorrow, and on Sunday. Tell us, what should we expect?
Ugangwe is happening today, Friday, 28th of February, tomorrow, 1st March, and 2nd of March. So these 3 days, we will be having the same show on those 3 days. So it's not like you watch tomorrow. It's not a series. Series kwa watu wa Netflix.
Season 20, episode 19.
No. So you can choose to either watch today or watch tomorrow or watch on Sunday. So we will be here at the Kenya National Theatre, the main auditorium, from 7 p.m. That's when the show starts. So please come early. Ndio pale kwa ticketing usisumbwane na mtu. So that you come early. Actually, buy ticket. Kama hujanunua tickets sahi, unajikosea. So make sure you have your tickets. Come get in by 7, and then we'll start the show. The show is a musical comedy play. So we'll have music, we'll have comedy, we'll have lots of things for you to experience. We have dancers. We have it's an ensemble of art.
All those things. So you give me something.
Kakuimba. This one can sing. I can't sing to save my life. This one can give a something.
Go.
Okay, so we do translations.
Okay.
So nitaguzia tu kitu kadogo. Ukijua ni wimbo gani ukiwa nyumbani ukuje uone show. Toka makenogo na ogetawe. Takweda na mawega. Mother doka nani ganero hoya. Wajerire ate wedonyo toraga nani genyo turaga wedonyo toraga nani genyo turaga.
Never mind, I'll find. Right?
Yes. You got it. So uko na ticket. Hawezi jua wimbo na ukose ticket.
You don't have to be Kikuyu.
Yes.
Director anasema unipe ticket.
Yako iko.
Mimi nishanunua, wewe uko na ticket.
I know.
And also for young people.
Yes.
Director. And also for the young people who, as we bring this to a close, because we need to go on to the other session, and also let you guys go and prepare.
Yes,
because the pressure is getting worse.
It is worse.
So for the young people who are watching us this morning and thinking, I actually didn't know I could do that, because majority of the people, when you think about acting, English is the first thing that comes to mind, you know. I want to go Broadway, nataka ku act in this movies, blockbusters, all those things, right? But we forget dialect. We forget our very own languages and beautiful languages and cultures and stories that we have. So what is it that you will tell this young person who's watching us and thinking, okay, I actually didn't know that's possible?
Anything is possible in this world. Anything is possible. If you're out there and you feel this is something that you have an interest in, please come. Just approach any of us. We are always here having rehearsals. Talk to us. We are very easy people. So we call for auditions once in a while when we need someone. And if you fit exactly what we're looking for, we do not have nafanyanga kazi na hawa. No. We have someone new, you have the talent, you have what you're looking for, then why not? Please join us on board. And there are so many companies out there. There are so many theater groups out there. It's not just Kwandego right now. So many theater companies that are looking for people, good talent.
And together we take our cultures and our stories international. Pro tip for someone who, I mean, because you've done this for a while, you have the experience, you know what you're supposed to do at what point, and also improv. Right? Pro tip, what is that one tip that you would give an upcoming actor, actress who wants to actually join dialect theater?
All right. One tip, be open-minded. Be open-minded. Yes.
All right.
For me, discipline. Yes. Actually, you do not have to have as much talent, but discipline has to be 100%.
I see.
You may have every talent in this world, but without discipline, you're done.
I see.
Unfortunately.
I see. In the next 2 years, where do you want to see dialect theater?
International. That's the first place.
That's it.
Like we have Dubai, we have US of A, you have Australia, we have Europe. Like we need to tour all these places.
Let's go entertain
like
these people.
In 2 years, for sure, you will be calling us.
Sorry,
on video.
Dubai.
Unfortunately, I cannot be
I can't
there
make it.
in
I'm in
person.
Dubai.
Yes. That is exactly where I see it, and I see having more sold out shows.
Yes.
Yeah. I envision having one full month that I'm actually doing a play, not just one weekend.
Yes.
Let me come and book a whole month because I have the hang. I have people. I have a market.
Yes.
I have people who are actually telling me, please stage a play. I am ready to pay the ticket.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out today. You guys are so much fun. Can we just stay here?
I know. So that we forget we have a play.
Forget you have a play. No, you have people to entertain. No.
Yes. We have a lot
Thank
to
you
do.
so much for hanging out today. Miriam Nyambura, who's a production manager, an actor. No, she said she could not sing to save her life.
Yes, singing, no.
A director in all the good stuff.
Yes.
Gather you are very sing and actor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For coming by today.
Thank you for
and all
having
the
us.
very best today,
you.
tomorrow, and on Sunday.
Yes.
Enjoy. We'll be somewhere hapo nyuma
watching.
Yes.
Please do.
Tutakuja.
Asante
And like we
sana.
said, kama hujapata tickets,
Yes.
shauri yako,
No,
okay?
tickets.
But we're taking a break. When we come back on the other side of the break, remember, we have Willie Oeba with us, who will actually be taking us through the power of poetry in social activism. And of course, we're talking about the art of speaking truth to power. You do not want to miss that part of the conversation. Do stay with us.
In today's world, staying informed is more than just a choice. It's a necessity. Nation.Africa provides you with trusted, insightful, and engaging content to enjoy unlimited articles that go beyond the headlines. Visit Nation.Africa. Browse through the available articles and choose one that interests you. As you scroll down to read the article, you'll encounter a paywall message. To continue reading, please subscribe for full access. If you already have an account, log in using your credentials. If you're a new user, you can either create a new account by clicking register and providing your email address and other required details, or sign in with your Google ID for a quicker, hassle-free registration process. Select the subscription plan that best suits your needs and budget. Provide your payment details as prompted. You can choose between M-Pesa and card payment options. If you have a coupon or promo code, enter it in the designated field to receive a discount. Review your order details and confirm your payment. For M-Pesa, you'll be redirected to your mobile device to enter your PIN. Once your payment is successful, you'll receive a confirmation message. After completing the subscription process, you'll have immediate access to all content on Nation.Africa. Enjoy reading. Nation.Africa. Empower Africa.
Mahadhi ya kusisimua na yenye mvuto. Kutoka mashinani hadi mijini.
Zaidi ya madaktari 200 wameweza kuanza mgomo wao rasmi.
Serikali ya kaunti inaendeleza miundombinu kuhakikisha kuwa maji inapatikana kwa urahisi.
Ni chimbuko la habari zinazokuhusu wewe.
Kupata ID, sisi tulikuwa kama alias ambaye wamekuwa discriminated.
Michebebe is very nutritious, very chlorophyllous, very delicious, but less malicious.
Bila chuku, bila upendeleo. Taarifa halisi na asilia kutoka kwa wananchi kwa ajili ya wananchi.
Ndilo kero la taka ambao umeshuhudiwa katika mji huu wa matunda.
Kama serikali hawajachukua hiyo hatua, sisi wa Orma tutachukua hatua.
NTV Mashinani. Kila siku ya wiki saa 12:30 jioni hadi saa 1 jioni.
What's up, Republicans? What it is, what it do, what it does. It's your boy D Trenton right here, and on this week's episode on A Teen Republic, we have a super jam-packed show for you guys. It's gonna be an all-ladies affair.
You say you got me.
Tunawaletea Jennifer Hitmaker, that is Gucci, alongside the superbly talented Ila Nia. And all matters of music and entertainment, we have Lynn the Brand. Not forgetting amazing mixes, courtesy of our very own DJ Rick Moss. See you guys on Saturday.
Hustle is survival.
When a love once lost.
Catch these exciting shows only on Maisha Magic Plus on DSTV channel 163 and GoTV channel 3.
Serikali inapea kazi wenye unafaa wa retirement. So mbona una tense na hata
All right, welcome back to the show. The show is Your World, and just in case you're tuning in right now and you're like, okay, Winnie, where are you? We are outside and we're always outside, but today we're coming to you from the Kenya National Theatre. We had an amazing conversation in the first hour of the show, and of course we talked about dialect theatre and of course the power that it holds and how we're doing as a country and where we need to go. But we're switching gears now and we want to understand voice of a generation. And of course, if you are in the country, you know, these people called Gen Zs. Older people started calling themselves Gen Zs. It's a movement in itself. So a voice of a generation, but we'll be really looking at the power of poetry in social activism and of course the art of speaking truth to power. And our guest today, you know him. If you do not know him, you need to be chapward. His name is Willie Oeba, who's a poet and a human rights defender. Now, let me tell you what it says. He's an African poet who empowers young people to fight inequality and foster social justice through spoken word. Willie, it's so good to have you.
Amazing. You look amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Let me tell you, this is not even a quarter of your CV. You have so many accolades to your name. You've done amazing things.
Thank you.
And this is as far as fostering change and pushing for change and fighting inequalities and all those things. Yeah. It's so good to have you today on the show.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for the good work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
But like I said, just in case kuna mtu ajui Willie Oeba is.
Never assume.
Right? Wacha tu tuwapatie basi a teaser. Small teaser. Then we'll come back and really understand the importance of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And especially as a young person.
True.
And like you said, just the other day you got threats. What is that about? You know what? But we'll talk about all that. First of all, take a look at Willie's work.
Amesema story come. Siwaski. Ati story come. Story go. Nikisema poetic unasema justice. Mama mmeshika hiyo. Poetic justice. Poetic justice. Mimi tu Willie Oeba pia nimetoka Nakuru. Mimi utembea kwa matatu na Brayo tukispread civic education. Ndio mayouth wachukue kura na watu wa participate in their civic and democratic rights, ndio? Sasa mnaona opposition iko in bed na gava. Sisi tuko peke yetu na tumeconcentrate na Nairobi because Nairobi watu watakaki ku focus na hizo vitu. Hata mtu anaweza pigwa pale ngeta tukiangalia. So tukue more proactive in what is happening in our surrounding na watu wa participate kwa hizo process, ndio? Ati story come. Story go. Siwaski story come. Story go. Story go. Story come. Poetic justice. Poetic justice. Huku the accused that are witness death, they are witness before witness against them. After corruption case double tragedy, some of the commission of inquiring employment opportunity for their corrupt families, useless bodies. Now the chief government pathologist is a pathological liar. After grabbing land is not enough, Yala River ndo iko na true water body. Do chicken seller amekuwa big fish. Kwa ofisi zao something is always cooking but si mwananchi ana dish. It's high time kufunguliwe koti za maskini na tajiri. Chukua hii relationship sisi wananchi ndo wabishi. Justice is never served. Chuao ndo wabishi. Na articles most za hii constitution ni useless kushinda za Nairobian. I'm not surprised. African leader amekuwa mbeberu kushinda the European. Jumzae, saizi uchumi imekuwa mbaya. Hakuna kenye inasonga. Hata wasusi hawasongi. Yani uchumi imekuwa mbaya, watu wa piercing tu ndo wanatoboa. Yani bro, uchumi imekuwa mbaya, ukisaidia rafiki yako pesa yako unapoteza rafiki yako na pesa yako. Jesus alibetrayiwa na Kiss. Nyinyi watu wa Githurai mko hapa mnajichocha juu Kasongo aliwapea haki. wajinga nyinyi. Ati story come, story go. So penye mnaenda kama ni manyumbani, wengine kama wanaenda night shift, mwambie watu wachukue kura na wa participate. Muendelee kuingia tuko penye mnaenda, si ndio? Hii civic space ifunguke. Na hii vita si ya watu wadogo, ya vijana peke yake, na vijana wa kupiga kura 2022. Wale 8.1 million ndio wametuinjectia bad governance. Watu wachukue kura, ambia watoi penye unaenda, your partners, your brothers and sisters, that we make good decisions. Na Kenya inaweza kuwa poa kama tuta open up your civic space, ndio? Mbarikiwe sana.
Alright, mesema tuchukue kura hadi za watoi. Tuchukue kura hadi za watoi. Alright, speak to your bike. Watu wanataka kukusikia.
Oh. We are back.
Tell me the idea behind that.
Yeah. So, right? The civic education.
Yes.
So we always perform, and over time, spoken word has been like secret society, and we're trying to mainstream the message, mainstream civic education, and mainstream spoken word also as an art. And now we are the Kenya National Theatre, and we stage events, concept events, spoken word poetry, where people pay $25, $20, and most of the people cannot afford the target audience. This message cannot afford to pay that. So we took the message where it matters most. So we do civic education with another spoken word artist, goes by the name Brian Silways, and we started it in 2023. So we were going to Kawangware to say hi to one of his friends, and we said, what if we start doing civic education in public spaces whereby we mainstream this message and do it in a way, you know, they say when you say the truth, you have to be funny, or else they will kill you. So we use puns, we use metaphors, and we indulge the audience into getting to understand. We will only have a new generation of leaders when we have a new generation of voters. And making the populace in Nairobi to be proactive, because it is only in Nairobi utapita mtu anapigwa ngeta, watu wanaangalia tu. Exactly.
And then tunaenda.
So we make people engage. We hold barazas inside the matatus. People ask questions, they answer, and it's amazing.
Why all this? Why? Because I followed your story. You started way back, right? And you've done so much. I mean, Kadeba tea poetry. You know how it's like, so niandikie poetry. You're like, I can't do that. Right? So social activism, social justice.
Yes.
Why this field? Why not love? Why not all these other beautiful things?
I used to. I still do. But my main beat is social justice and defending human rights.
All right.
In 2017, I was almost shot in a case of mistaken identity in Nakuru. So I have dreadlocks, and baby locks are the ugliest faces of dreadlocks. So I was almost shot. In Nakuru, there's a gang called Confirm. The ones that they send you a text message and tell you, send that money back, reverse that money. So it started in Nakuru. And there was a time in 2017 where they were profiling any young person, quote unquote, who had dreadlocks and looked in a certain way. And that day was my mom's birthday, 21st of January 2017. So from that moment, they say when a gun is put on your head, at that moment, your whole life flashes in front of your eyes. And if they don't kill you yet, then you live as a man who has nothing to lose. So I'm living now as a man who has nothing to lose. Exactly. And that is why I started now doing, and because at that time there was peace, but I realized there was no justice. And so many other people die in that manner. And if I stop writing, that what happens to people who cannot hold the pen. So after that ordeal, there was a video, because I hit the gun, it went to the ground, and people shot that video. Because it was uko Nakuru tunaita choche in those panya roots. And people were screaming. Even the policemen left their gun on the ground, and we went to IPOA. I sent that video to Boniface Mwangi on Twitter after a while, and I said to myself, I'm doing poetry. I have a gift. Why should I go to the hassle of like sending that video to Boni so that he can amplify and I can use firsthand my voice.
Yes.
So after that, I started doing spoken word for social change.
Okay.
We did Wajinga Nyinyi. I did an album called Dear God. It had pieces like Dear Mr. President, and I've never looked back. But I still do. I do pieces on love because love is a beautiful thing.
Love is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So then in your journey, what is it that you see that up until today inakukasirisha? You know?
Yeah.
Because there's several fights that have been fought in terms of, number one, attaining independence, getting the freedom that we have and we enjoy now as a country, but also when it comes to like leadership and governance, you know, there's so much that is happening. You're young. So what is that thing that, yes, you have been fighting over time, but mpaka saizi inakukasirisha?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 years plus later, we're still battling the same things that we were
many years ago.
Even before independence.
Yeah.
Poverty, disease, and ignorance. We are still battling the same things. We have good structures. I was doing a performance in November, Cape Town, and I met Judge Albi Sachs. So he's the one judge who came to Kenya to help with the implementation of the constitution and drafting of the constitution. More so implementing the Supreme Court and appointing the Supreme Court judges, the first bench. And he was telling me, we as Kenyans, we have the best constitution.
We do.
I hear it all the time, but coming from one of the most distinguished judges, he told me we have one of the best constitutions in the world because it was partly borrowed from South Africa and from the US, and we have a whole clause dedicated and a whole chapter 4 dedicated to protection of human rights. But what inanikasirisha kabisa, it's very distasteful that human life is not dignified. And I believe all the problems, all the struggles that we have pertaining to social justice and social change is that the human life in Kenya is not dignified. I am also a caregiver, and sometimes I take my mom to the hospitals, and you see there are no simple things.
Yes.
Even in public hospitals, like ramps, there are no simple things kama elevators, unaambiwa ifanyi. When you go to one doctor, we don't have doctors, nurse anakula huko. Exactly.
Yeah.
We have not dignified the human life of an ordinary Kenyan.
Yeah.
And more so even in Nairobi, there's so much gentrification.
Yeah.
The city is for rich people, middle class, people who have money, people who have float.
Yeah.
Everyone else is pushed aside. And you can see the indignity.
Yeah.
Hiyo ndio inakasirisha the most.
And now you use poetry as a tool, you know, to help preach against all these things, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is so important? Because otherwise you could be uko kwa streets every single day.
Exactly.
Umebeba bana hivi.
Exactly.
Unasema. So why poetry as a tool for speaking truth to power?
Great. Art and poetry and music and murals is the future of activism. And they say when you have power, people presume you have more than you do, and you have to act in ways that will maintain that power. And what we hold as artists is soft power, and it comes with influence. And using art for social change.
Yes.
I told you when you speak the truth, they will kill you. Unless you
make it
exactly. So you have
funny.
to use metaphors. You have to use puns. So you use your influence to activate for social change. Yes, we need to be on the streets also. But we cannot double up. And I read somewhere they said leadership sometimes is in planting trees in spaces that will grow, in planting seeds that in spaces that will grow trees, whereby we will not get shade in sometimes, and also true leadership is in delegation. I believe the idea is not to change the world, but to spark the mind that will change the world, because true leadership is in delegation.
I like that.
So I use poetry for the revolution of the mindset, to spark minds, to activate, to amplify. So that I do my part as a spoken word artist, let someone else organize, and leadership is in various spaces.
Yes.
Exactly.
You don't have to have that corner office.
Exactly. Even putting up posters, sharing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, in understanding activism, what is that
the first time that, say, you wrote your first piece, as far as activism is concerned, do you remember it? And how significant was it in, speaking truth to power, yes, but also fighting for social justice?
Wow.
Yeah.
The first piece I wrote was Dear Mr. President.
Okay.
And there's a line that says, do you know the leaders of tomorrow are dying today? Nigats tu hakuna, but everyone has something to say. Manifesto hope hazina, our mothers have resorted to pray. Na watoto wa CBC, nani atawafunza hiyo tumechoka. Even Rihanna doesn't want you to stay. Kwa inchi, everyone is crying for justice.
Yes.
Hata Chief Justice ana cry for justice. Hakuna mtu akoshua na hii katiba, ndio maana lawyers wana practice. Sijuzi muliona, small fish akibreak the law anakujiwa, but big fish akibreak the law, Nurdin Haji. That was the first piece I wrote after the ordeal, the mistaken identity ordeal.
Yeah.
But after such an ordeal, I become a master before I can write a masterpiece, so that I don't bleed on people. I don't write from a point of bitterness. So it was very significant that I could compress my feelings to words. And art is the language of the heart.
It is.
Exactly.
It is. Yeah.
So if I wrote from a point of bitterness, then it would be seen. And that is one thing that was significant. After writing that piece, it had metaphors, it had puns. I could joke about the things that happened to me, but in a very poetic manner.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
And where I'm still stuck. I became a master so I can write a masterpiece.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be a master of your situation before you write, or else because I am a realist.
Yes.
All I do is write about my real life experience, and people call that poetry. So if you're not a master of your content, then you might be overwhelmed on stage, because some of the things that we write some of them are very personal.
I see.
Yeah.
And one actually asks, and especially in the country over the last few months, right? We've had a lot of cases about abductions and arrests, and again, people losing their lives to actually, by the fact that they were actually speaking truth to power, or based on what either they posted online. So someone might actually look at you and thinking, hey, sasa wewe, ujipendi?
Wow.
I've had someone actually ask someone that. Ujipendi wewe? With everything else that is going on, but you're still keeping at it.
Exactly.
From those days of wajinga nini up until now. First of all, bado sisi ni wajinga. Do you feel?
Sana.
Bado.
Lakini sahi, one thing that really happened during the protest ni everyone now ameelewa why we need to come together in the clamor for change. We've had the revolution of the mindset, as we said, and our collective conscience has been pricked. We are not where we used to be.
But we
are not where we want to be. A win is a win.
A win is a win. A win is a win, right?
Yeah.
And also the fact that we have so many artists from different fields and different niches. They're doing all these different things. And others, yes, use music. You use poetry, and spoken word. Others would use their plays and shows to enforce change. What is it that we are missing? Is there something that from where you sit we're missing, that we've found ourselves where we are today in terms of our leadership and governance and human rights? And like you said, the human life has been so indignified. That is just so saddening.
And you had asked a question, then I deviated. So the current regime we have the intelligence body that majorly is just conducting an espionage to the citizens. And a day before yesterday, someone threatened me on Twitter, and I thought it was a joke, using a pseudo account, and then they commented with my location, like my exact location where I was. We are tweeting around NIS. I know it's crazy. But it's very sad that ordinary citizens are playing with less than half the number of pieces, because the poor are very poor, and there's disparity in distribution of income. Nairobi is one of the richest cities, but we have one of the poorest people living,
yes,
still living in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And the regime wants to maintain the status quo. We have the political cousins, whoever is president, whoever is vice president, deputy president, they don't care. They know our interests are catered for whoever is there. So they don't want a dissenting opinion. They don't want a dissenting voice. And that is why they are against everyone and against anyone who is up for clamor for change. Yeah.
Can we go back? I'm still stuck there. So yesterday, just as recent as yesterday, because I know you've received so many threats by people, and even in your work, in your line of work, your governor.
I know, right?
And even wengine komat, you know, you were saying yes, you stand up, you say, you know, what you're saying.
Exactly.
You know, and all those things. So just as recent as yesterday, do you know what exactly happened? So someone tweeted with a pseudo account, and then
so I tweeted about how nominations in Nakuru, MCA nominations, have been a reserve to a certain political class and family. So the governor has their relatives, and that happens we have normalized injustice.
Nepotism,
in every county. We have nominated MCAs, like 5 nominated MCAs from one family, nieces, sisters, nephews. So I tweeted about that. And someone came to my inbox and told me, wewe umeanza kuingilia personal matters. Utaona kama we are joking. And then in my next tweet, they replied with my location. And told me how is a certain place. And and that is how I knew we are tweeting around.
And today you're here.
I know I have gotten so many threats.
Yeah.
Personal, physical, online text messages, and they have become a banal. I want them to act.
No, please don't say that.
No, they've become a banal because on the I said it's like I'm living my second chapter. Yeah. So this is the second chapter. When I remember the ordeal on the 21st of January 2017. Then it keeps me going. Nothing can stop me from doing the right thing, because either way we are doomed. Either way, if we do or if you don't. So that day, I was not amplifying. On the 21st, I was just living my normal life.
Yes.
But injustice caught up with me.
Yes.
So even the person mwenye anani threaten, injustice will catch up with them, because who knew that the impeached deputy president right now would be the active voice, quote unquote, championing for accountability. And that shows you even the most powerful, without the right systems, injustice it'll catch up with them. Even the person mwenye anani threaten, be it NIS, be it police, be it a rogue youth mwenye anatumika with the current regime, injustice will catch up. Yeah, just a matter of time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to go on a break on that note, because and then when we come back now, we want to understand. So fine.
Yeah.
So experiencing all these things that you are experiencing, but then again, you still have that hunger for change.
Yeah.
And you know, human rights to really, you know, be upheld and all those things. So what is it that keeps you going? What is it that you want to see even other younger, you know, people? Gen Z.
Gen Z. Hata mimi nimeitwa Gen Z. Yeah.
But there's something that you said about this whole Gen Z thing, and you said Gen Z is not just about an age group. Gen Z is a movement. Right?
You did your research.
Well, let me tell you, I stalk my people. I stalk my people that I want to have a conversation with.
Wow.
But yes, let's take that break, and then when we come back, we'll pick up the conversation from there in terms of then how do we have as many people coming together, amplify their voices, and see change happen. So it's not just tuongee then tuende nyumbani, right? Based on what we saw during the Bandamano. So there's so much to come on the other side of the break as far as speaking, the art of speaking truth to power is concerned. And of course, we're talking about the voice of a generation. If you want to be part of the conversation, you know the drill by now at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on X, and tag me as well at Lubembe_Winnie. I'll also be going through your feedback after the short break. Do stay with us.
Tupeleke break. Keep it locked, ka warden.
Keep it locked, ka warden.
can now get Showmax Premier League Mobile plus 3 gigs of data for only 450 shillings. Just dial *544*37#. Only with Showmax and Safaricom. T's and C's apply.
You NTV on the road, County Edition, and now we're pushing boundaries and narrowing down to sectors, industries, and other themes.
Everybody needs decent housing.
The real estate space is built on various facets of life.
We got the apartments, we actually got them at off-plan.
From different counties, stories and insights on experiences. Stories of the lives and livelihoods of the broader ecosystem.
We observe British Standard Building Code, straight from design all the way to construction.
This weekend, we bring to you a first, NTV on the Road, Mjengo Edition. Trade between Kenya and Somalia is thriving. From tea, coffee, to livestock, fish, and other exports. Business on this front is booming. New opportunities are also emerging in real estate, manufacturing, the blue economy, retail, and education. Are you interested in tapping into the Somali market? Join us at the Kenya-Somali Trade Week 2025, February 26th to 28th at BBS Mall, Eastleigh. Meet top brands serving these markets, industry leaders, policymakers, trade experts, and promoters of cross-border trade. To book your slot, please contact us through the numbers below or email tmuthengi@ke.nationmedia.com. Kenya Somali Trade Week 2025, powered by Rentco Africa. If you can use it, we can lease it.
Mahadhi ya kusisimua na yenye mvuto. Kutoka mashinani hadi mijini.
Zaidi ya madaktari 200 wameweza kuanza mgomo wao rasmi.
Serikali ya kaunti inaendeleza miundombinu kuhakikisha kuwa maji inapatikana kwa urahisi.
Ni chimbuko la habari zinazokuhusu wewe.
Kupata ID, sisi tulikuwa kama alias ambaye wamekuwa discriminated.
Micheveve is very nutritious, very chlorophyllous, very delicious, but less malicious.
Bila chuku, bila upendeleo. Taarifa halisi na asilia kutoka kwa wananchi kwa ajili ya wananchi.
Ndilo kero la taka ambao umeshuhudiwa katika mji huu wa matunda.
Kama serikali hawajachukua hiyo hatua, sisi wa Orma tutachukua hatua.
NTV Mashinani. Kila siku ya wiki saa 12:30 jioni hadi saa 1 jioni.
Looking for some mehe faster than you can say spill the tea? Well, I've got you covered.
Con entertainment, you know, we already got the vibe. So I got the beat, my moves ni kwako.
Join us for Chocha where the games are wild. Kiss my dumb, right? Dashagwa, Kindiki, Sakaja.
And of course, kwa na story inspiring ama ngoma noma, send in tutakuwakilisha kama kawa kama dawa.
Catch Beats and Buzz
only on NTV. Because it's gonna be mad, mad and crazy.
For fast relief of strong pain, like headache, toothache, and muscle pain. And I am finally released from pain and ready to be there for those who need me. Try Panadol Extra for fast and effective relief from strong pain.
Hustle is survival.
When a love once lost.
Catch these exciting shows only on Maisha Magic Plus on DSTV channel 163 and GoTV channel 3.
kazi wenye wanafaa wa retirement. So mbona na tense na hata mood ya worry. Hakuna pesa ya kulipwa peanuts. Siku hizi kila mtu anauza njugu. Si wenzetu wakati wa kura ndio nakumbuka kutuita madugu. Politicians wangekuwa wanajali what we say. The parliament kungekuwa na headphones na sio speaker. Mchana wanalala bunge na usiku wanataka night allowance. Nyang'anya wetangu la mic kwa nyumba ameshindwa kuperform.
Hey, really? Hapa ile ulikuwa paka National Theatre. That is just a snippet of what you did, but there's so much that you're doing.
I was marking 10 years of poetic justice on the 12th of December 2024 at the Kenya National Theatre.
Up to that level. What magnitude, what significance, what impact had you seen at that point? Because like you said, you've done so many things. You've done, preached a lot of messages, social justice and all those things. And you've seen a lot of impact. Up until that point, what impact had you seen from poetry?
So my the immediate outcome is people celebrate what you do, and it sparks conversations.
Yes.
But on a larger scope now, the output is creating a generation of activists who use art for social change. And people can look at Willie and see, I want to be like Willie. I want to use art for social change and maintain. And one of the things that we also do is I work in the intersection of art for social change and financial autonomy and the creative economy, because they say whoever feeds you controls you. And sometimes these messages are too hot for the government, too hot for the corporate, and not to mention also too hot for the non-governmental organizations. Because some of them are aligned specific interests that sometimes you might be cancelled for certain messages.
Yes.
Like in 2021, I did Uhuru Maliza Wende. I was cancelled for that. And now I have taken up like 12 artists, both in Nakuru, Nairobi, Kisumu, and Mombasa.
All right.
And I do master classes on how they can work in the intersection between activating and also be remaining financial autonomous and creating community that believes in them. They can sell their own merchandise, they can stage their own events, they can stream their own poetry events, so that if they get contracted to perform, now that's a boost. And it will not cut down on your message. So like 2 weeks ago I performed. So I was inducted into performing in judicial events by the Chief Justice herself because of not wavering in the messages that I perform.
You're putting out there.
So I was invited 2 weeks ago. They had an event in one of the venues in Nairobi, and the Chief Justice was the chief guest. And I injected the line, "Other Chief Justice and a cry for justice," and the rot in the judiciary and the backlog of cases, because now that is a bonus. If they cancel me for that, the message has gotten home.
Yes.
They can go and do my other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I say usinunuliwe, Willie anaongea hapa to power.
Siwezi nunuliwa.
And all those things. And then kidogo tunasikia Willie you know?
You know, hata kununuliwa si government peke yake. You can be bought even with the same people, even with the civil society. People don't know, and sometimes I go to the matatu and the government propagandist, the government statement. You know, the regime is one big one big propaganda machinery, and some wanasema oeba amelipwa na civil society groups ndio inject kwa matatu. I started even before the maandamanos, you know, and no one can. By the way, I'm looking for people to support the initiative. I'm supported by ordinary Kenyans, and that is not why tunaifanya. It comes along the way. Exactly, and people can say, "Oh, eba supportiwa na civil society groups ndio inject." Government propagandists can say that, but not forgetting that some of the people that also can tell you, no, we don't want you to talk about these messages. Also, some of the civil society groups. Exactly. So it's very crazy.
Okay.
So you have a very thin line between doing the right thing, and maintaining the status
momentum
quo.
And yes,
because many people just want to maintain the status
quo.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, you have a piece for us.
I do. Any day, all day.
Right? Hey, okay.
Justice system imejaribu kureverse roles. Sasa wanaita judge my lord, alafu God is my witness. Hii Kenya, uchumi imekuwa mbaya, hakuna Kenya ina move, hata wasusi wasongi. Uchumi imekuwa mbaya, pia sing tu ndio wanatoboa. Uchumi imekuwa mbaya mpaka ukisaidia rafiki yako pesa yako unapoteza rafiki yako na pesa yako. Uchumi imekuwa mbaya, Sauti Sol wamekuwa at the top. Uchumi imekuwa mbaya sasa mpaka Alusa decide to go topless. Na pesa ya kisima waliiba, and that's the damn truth. Sudden death is viewed kama spoiled votes. That's the sad truth. Hakuna food, shelter, matter, clothing. That's the naked truth. Mayouth hawana fare kwenda job interview. Politician Kenya na msumbua ni mafuta ya ndege. Well, that's the plain truth. Life ain't easy. That's the hard truth. It's not about sagging. Drugs in a create my wasted youth. Kwa inchi mashefa wezi afford ile food wana cook. Domoptician wanalipo wezi hata piga look. Kill sin to see God. Atotoe tithe aje ticket ya heaven na inunului maimuk. Itakuwaje cry za tajiri ni intellectual lakini cry za maskini kwa masikio ya justice ni kelele. Itakuwaje una believe in me na nikicheza kimimi unashikwa na kiwewe. Itakuwaje unaninyima opportunity ya kupata kazi lakini kwa club unataka nipewe. Na effect ya nguvu ya thao inafika malinduru ya mnyonge iwezi fika. Ballot box na DSTV zinafika malidisha iwezi fika. Watoto wanalala njaju unakunywa na pesa ya kula na vizuri unajua pombe iwezi lika. Huku the accused that a witness death a witness before witness a witness against them, as if grabbing land is not enough. Yala river ndo iko na true water bodies. During he reign, the youth are one bullet away from being a hashtag. Talk is cheap. Citizens cannot buy that because wako one bullet away from the poverty line. IBC ndo iko na price tag. Our moms wako one demolition away from kulala njaa to kulala inje. Makanga only one police stop away from kulose another finje. There's nothing to smile about when I know I am one stray bullet away from being a statistic. Na degree ni makaratasi tu. Now to put food on my mama's table I have to be sarcastic. Kenya, life ni short na siongelei kinyasa. Na akaunti ya mwananchi ni empty kama promises za mwanasiasa. Akaunti ya mwananchi ni empty kama akili ya mwanasiasa. The president is talented in the art ya contempt of court. The law is very clear. His conscience is not.
Wow. Hey, I have chills. I have chills.
The law is very clear. His conscience is not.
The law is very clear.
Yeah, because the law is as good as the implementation.
Wow.
That is what lacks.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you.
Hey, I have chills. And you see, the thing is, it's true. These are the things that are happening.
Yeah.
But not everybody has the courage that you have to actually speak about them.
Yeah.
Very few people do it.
Yeah.
Others have unfortunately lost their lives.
Yeah.
Others, they've disappeared. We don't know kule wako up until now.
Yeah.
Are you sometimes scared?
Yes, I'm scared all the time. I get chills when I go kwa matatu. Sometimes we do night shift injections.
Yes.
So we pick a route.
Okay.
Like today tuko route ya Kawangware. Like today. So we do and data conductors saizo wametuzoea. And you don't know what to expect.
All right.
There's strangers. They're not expecting you to do that. You don't expect them to. Anafu uko na dread ukisimama na hauzi dawa ya mende.
Yes.
Na wesi pasta. My friend pia kona dreadlocks anaitwa rasta pasta.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're scared, and that is, it is not easy, and that is why we keep doing it. If it was easy, then we would not be doing it.
You wouldn't be.
But
What's
every
the point?
time we go right into them, you have chills.
Yeah.
And it's intense. You know, when I perform,
it's very intense.
Exactly.
It really is intense.
My concept shows are one of the hardest for me.
Yeah.
It is easier when I'm invited to perform.
Okay.
But when I market the show and it is a one-man show and I'm performing for like 2 hours.
Yes.
Because all these people are here to see me perform, and their expectations, even 10 years later, I still have butterflies because it matters. They matter, and what I say matters. But sasa when I go to the matatu, it's 10 times.
because they are strangers.
Yes.
I am not in control of the environment.
And then you don't know how people respond. Because
I know.
Yeah, how people respond. So how are people responding? Because you see, what you're saying, and someone actually said, sisi wa Kenya sometimes hatupendangi ukweli. Trakanga tukue pampered, tuambiwe, and all those things.
Yeah.
So I can imagine the fact that you're speaking truth to power. Yeah. You're calling out bad governance. Yeah. You're calling out corruption. You're calling out all these negative vices that are happening in our society. Yeah. There's some people who, yes, will respond to it positively and be like, yeah, good job, keep it up. But there's some people who will not. Yeah. So then how do you balance to make sure that, yes, in as much as you want to speak truth to power, but also the people who are in power should also,
exactly.
get them and say, how do you do it?
So that's where technical writing comes in. You have to, spoken word and art majorly is, and writing for social change is very sensitive. It's what you say is as important as how you say it.
Yes.
And when you say it.
When you say it.
So you have to balance, you have to read the room, you have to know when to say what, because sometimes even unaenda kuinject and some people are making noise, you have to know how to engage with them so that they can relax.
All right.
Sometimes unaenda kuinject conductor ndio uwe anataka sasa asimame hapo mbele. You have to know, you have to be very good with human interactions.
All right.
And that is something Nairobi is not good with, because sometimes unaingia kwa matatu, watu wanaangalia nje ama mtu anavaa earpods, Exactly. So you have to like crack one or two jokes and invite them into the room.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good.
Yeah.
Very calmly. And I have to say, mi usema Mungu anasaidia, that's my mantra. Also grace play a part in that,
very big
because hatujapata experience yenye imekuwa sasa ni noma.
Yes.
But some of the routes are very challenging. Kwanza hizi middle class routes, wachana na kina Kawangware.
Yeah.
One of the easiest routes inakuanga Githurai. Ukiingia tu Kichantu but some of the routes kina Madonholm huko sijui Buru. Zinakuanga challenging. But sasa wakikuwa challenging sana unajikasirisha. Unasema nyinyi ndio kwa maana hii serikali inawafinya.
Yeah, love wanaamka na wewe.
Exactly.
But generally how's the response?
The response is good.
Yeah.
We get conversations inside the matatus.
Yes, to where the people are.
So there's this one we are going to Githurai, and the regime also is countering this civic education inside matatus because they're using the power SACCOs have.
Okay.
So we are told by the drivers hapana na conductor hizi hazikubaliwi na SACCO now.
Okay.
So they wameanza kukataa. But nowadays when you get into the matatu hatuulizi.
Okay.
So tukishalipa fare tunasimama.
Okay.
So tumenyane tu sasa. Ukituambia tukae chini tunamenyana tu voaje. So huyu tukamwambia lakini tuna inject, akatuambia hapana wamekataa. Nikamwambia 1 minute kama nimesimama. The matatu ilikuwa poa mpaka watu wanasema hapana endelea. And the gesture, there's a gentleman alikuwa hapo, he looks like akaini kama ako nayo sana.
Okay.
But akatoa 50 bob mpaka akakuja akanipea. Some other people started contributing.
Okay.
But tukalipia mse mwingine fare.
All right.
But huyo conductor yeye unipigia. Ananiuliza mnakuja hii route lini tena? Mnarudi lini? Because hata watu wengine walikuwa kwa hiyo gari kwa laini wanamuuliza wale watu wanarudi. Exactly.
Okay.
So imekuwa engaging, very interactive.
Yeah.
You find unaenda online unapata mtu anakuambia manze nilikuwa hiyo route, because also apart from just the physical interactions, we amplify it online on Twitter, Instagram, and zimeanza conversations.
All right.
The massive engagements, and that is just the metrics to show that inafika.
Okay.
That is not why we do it,
yes.
but along the way, so like
people get
most
the
of the
message.
videos
Yes.
may like 1 million views on Instagram, Twitter, to TikTok, and people are engaging. But that is just to do what also the Fourth Estate is doing, to set the agenda, and to create a basis whereby people can talk about these things. Because when it started like with Wajinga Nyinyi and Dear Mr. President, I was enforced disappearance. I was abducted in 2020 for doing Dear Mr. Deputy President.
Okay.
That time. And some of the people when you are close to me, even some of my audience, they were asking me, mbona unafanya hizi vitu? Art ni for entertainment, art ni for nini. But now it will be easier for other artists to join in because we are mainstreaming that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's why I asked earlier on, in terms of them, how do you ensure there are other people who join in to actually preach the same message? Yes, entertain other people. Use poetry to also, unify people, entertain people, but also speak messages about change. Now, so just recently, Mandamano, right? And 2027 is not far from here, right? So you using poetry, what message would you want to give the people, even as we prepare to go for elections? Because like we always say, it's easy for us to point fingers at our leaders and say, Nyinyi amfanyi, amfanyi. And yet we're the same people who are putting them into those positions of power. So what message, again, given what you do, that is spoken words, poetry, to bring these messages, remind people, by the way, it's your responsibility as a citizen to ensure that we have the right leaders in positions of power.
And some of these messages can be a banal of their shadow, because we repeat it over and over again, and then it's very boring. And some people can, it's your responsibility until it hits home. Yes. And it did. It hit home in June, where people were being shot, broad daylight.
Yes.
And that, and let me talk to this camera.
Yes, please
at
do.
home.
Yes.
And that the bad governance, unaona, the enforced disappearance, the high taxation is due to your choice. And now in a hit home, because now people saw, and 2 years down the line of not voting, either not voting or voting along tribal lines or inclinations. And the message is we will only have a new generation of leaders if we have a new generation of voters. 8.1 people did not vote, and that is the majority. And I say, democracy is the dictatorship of the majority. So the majority who did not vote presented to us bad governance on a silver platter. And we will have to live with it. And the revolution was not achieved by the bullet. And now we are going to the ballot. Get your vote and vote. That is your civic right. Vote. Do not leave it to, politics now is left to a reserve of the wicked people in the society, the most corrupt. So I was in New York.
All right.
And the most celebrated people in such a society are artists, sportsmen, and women.
Yes.
People who inject in the society. But in Kenya, it's all the way around. We have politicians. Politicians are the real celebrities. They're the real stars. So my message to the people, you cannot do everything, and that enables you to do something and do it very well. It might be incomplete, but that is a reason to allow God's grace to enter and do the rest. We might not see everything, and that is the difference between the master builder and the worker. Me and you are master builders. We are not workers. We are prophets and not messiahs. We are prophets of a future, not our own. Let us build for the future.
I feel like saying, mic drop, tumalize show up, because that's very, very powerful.
Injection
and listen, so we have like literally 4 minutes to go before we say goodbye. So first question is, then what do you see the future of the poetry, and this is as far as activism is concerned. So poetry in activism, and especially right here in the country and even across the African region, where do you see the future? And then also I'd want you to end with another piece, right? Was my Jackson? All right, but let's start with the future of poetry in activism. Where do you see it?
The future of poetry in activism and poetry in amplifying voices for social change is very bright. One, it's very hard to be and do art. Even away from poetry, music, that is why you don't see, they do one and they get threats through KRA, through they are cancelled by corporates, because nobody wants you to. Freedom of speech is is a de facto, is a de facto,
yes.
not de jure.
Okay.
So you can only speak, but freedom after speech is not guaranteed.
I see.
So you can, there's so many ways that the regime can come to you and you cannot. But we are mainstreaming the art for social change because even the leaders and the president and the police are from this society.
Yes.
And as soon as we keep using art for social change, even after the elections, even the new generation of leaders will normalize that and will not see that as a threat, but will see that as a reflection of the society. And more artists and more spoken word artists will welcome that, and more people will indulge in using art for social change.
I like that.
And the future of art and future of activism is the future of activism is artivism, soft power.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw what you did there. The future of activism is in activism.
Yeah.
Where? Okay. Hi, tupeleke nyumbani with a message that you have for us. Another piece.
Shout out to my mom. She's my biggest fan, and
hi,
she's
Mama.
watching. Shout out.
Hi, Mama.
Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So to all the girls who've broken my heart, just know my mama doesn't like you because I write. I write for girls who don't know why I write. I write for girls who don't appreciate how I write. For girls who are never wrong, I write. So never ask a girl why she is in love with you. More so when it doesn't make you so happy when you look into the mirror, because these girls can be very petty. You see, maybe she's in love with the way you look when you sleep. And if she dare tells you it's because of your personality, then maybe you don't look as good. Well, these girls will fall in love with you for the comedian that you are, but once you get into a relationship, you cease being funny. Most of these girls knock on open doors. The way some of these girls have saved you on their phones, only God knows. Well, these boys act funny, but these girls won't tell because they have shaved this. Now you know why they can't raise their eyebrows. But I will say it for the last time. No girl should miss school because of her menses. Period. Because these girls become mothers. Mothers who give us education, some of them can't even spell. I'm here to tell these girls that it is well, and when they die, all they deserve is the heavens, because on earth they have been through so much hell. And my mama never raised voices, she raised a son. So I toast to the man that I am. Well, I use my mama's second name because she is masculine, with belly muscles that straight from the first, second, third to the 9th month, but even stronger lip muscles that utter words that move my soul. Call this the strength of a woman. These are just words that have motherly touch from my mama in low tones, whispers, and mama. She has figure, trust me. Forget about that because she's my fatherly figure. No, it won't match. She's first in this chat list. Well, she is the head of the family. These words are sick because she has blood pressure. That won't kill her. Her smile is sweeter than diabetes. Happy International Women's Day in advance. Na tuachane our girls wasome. Sindio?
I like that.
Juu utambiaje dem alishika bola akiwa high school. Education is the key na alishajifungua. Tuache wasome.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we say goodbye. Thank you for watching the show. Hey, Willie Orba.
Thank you.
Poets and a human rights defender. I need not say no more, okay? Except have yourselves a lovely weekend. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you next week on Monday. Same time, same place right here on Your World. Until then, stay safe, God bless, and goodbye. Hey,